Hi, I'm Linda Mary, and in this video we're going to talk about how moms can stop feeling overwhelmed, how moms can avoid or deal with being overwhelmed. Okay, so if that's something that interests you, keep watching this video. I'm a mother of one. My daughter is 5 years old, and I understand being overwhelmed too well. You are constantly taking care of their needs, other people's needs 24/7. It is very, very easy to become overwhelmed. So how can you stop, how can you prevent yourself from getting to that place where you're overwhelmed, or how can you deal with it when if you're already overwhelmed? So let's look at some of the tips you can apply. The first thing you should do is you need to learn to identify when you're stressed. Okay, you need to, because when you identify that time that you're stressed, then you're able to do something about it. For example, personally, I know I'm stressed when there's a lot of yelling going on from my side. When I yell a lot, stop doing that, why are you doing that, I will beat you up. If you're yelling, if you're speaking loudly, like more than normal, you're stressed. If you're irritable, like you get angry easily, if someone just does something to you, you want to bite their head off, you want to, like, let me say your child refuses to eat, then it becomes this big deal. You want to shout, scream, tell everyone, you want to beat them to death, and you're like, but they just refuse to eat. Yes, it can upset you, but it is not that big. But they didn't steal, they were not jailed. You know, your reaction is extreme because you are stressed. Sometimes also it comes in the form of, even physically, you feel weak, you feel tired all the time, you feel dizzy, you get headaches, you're restless. That means you're stressed. Okay, so learn how to identify when you're stressed. So these days when it happens for me, when I start to yell a lot, I'm like, Linda, there's something bothering you. Like, are you feeling overwhelmed? Like, this is not like your usual self, this is not like the normal thing to do, so there's something going on. So be able to spot it, okay, so that you catch it. You don't want to be those parents whose kids are so scared of them because you're always yelling, you're always mad. You can prevent that by identifying when you're stressed. Now that you know you're stressed, when do you need to do? That's the time to take a break, take a pause, take a break from everything that is going on. If you need to go to the bathroom for 5 minutes, go to the bathroom for 5 minutes. If you need to pray, pray. If you need to meditate, meditate. If you need to lock yourself in your room, do it, but take a break. Okay, step away from the situation. Okay, figure out a way to disengage so that you don't continue with what is going on. Sometimes taking a break looks like visiting your relatives, going up country. It can be as short as 5 minutes break if you're not too overwhelmed. It can be a break whereby you take even a weekend and travel up country, go change, have a change of scenery. Okay, be with other people, like remove yourself, take a break from that situation. Okay, short or long. The second tip I can recommend is to squeeze in some time for yourself. I know it's hard to get some time for yourself as a mom, because trust me, I think our kids sometimes think that our names are mom. Like your kid thinks your real name, the one on your ID, is mom. They'll be like, mom, 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 mom. So you need to take time for yourself, whereby you're not mom, you're not anyone's mom, you're just you. It's just Linda. I always say there's Linda and there's Taraji's mom. How I get my time for myself is in the morning. I wake up before my daughter wakes up. Okay, whether it's school days, whether it's holidays, unless it's just one of those lazy days, I'm like, I just want to sleep in so we can wake up together. But most of the time, 98% of the time, I wake up before her. So when I wake up before her, I have that quiet time. It's just me. I meditate, I pray, I can relax, I can work some more quietly, in a quiet environment, before mom, I want this, mom, breakfast, mom, starts. Okay, very, very important. This time you can also get it in the evening. Right now, because we're on holiday, her sleeping schedule has been off. I've just been allowing her to sleep whenever she wants. But normally, especially, sorry, kids are playing outside. But normally, especially on school days, she sleeps at 9, then I sleep at 11. So it means I have a whole 2 hours to myself, just myself. I can be there, I can chat, get on social media, watch my movies quietly sing, like do whatever you want. So when you are alone, that's when you get to recharge, because no one is expecting anything from you. It's your time to breathe, relax before you get back to your commitments. Try to get this time. This time might look like taking a longer shower. When you're in the bathroom, you're like, instead of bathing for 10 minutes, I'm just going to take 20 minutes and relax and be there. It can mean going to the toilet, and you know sometimes our kids follow us to the toilet. It can mean going to the toilet alone for 5 minutes. Just you. No, and your kids are outside the toilet. They're waiting for you outside or in the bedroom. It can mean taking a walk whenever you can. Okay? So find a way to squeeze it. No one will give you this time. Because if you're a mom, if you're a mother, you know that everyone will take from you. Want this, mama want this, where is this, where is this? Like everyone wants something from you. So it is upon you to make sure you get that time for yourself. Okay? That tip you can take to avoid being overwhelmed is to get everyone to chip in. Give everyone something to do, okay? Everyone needs to be doing something, not just mom. What can you do? You, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Anything that anyone can do in the family, let them do it, so that it reduces the responsibility that you have, the obligations that you have there, because there are too many. There are too many. For me, what I normally do is that my daughter, she knows how to, after maybe she's eaten, she just takes her things to her plates to the kitchen. That's it. Sometimes I may decide to take them for her, but she knows that she's supposed to. She knows how to do that. And if she forgets, I'll be like, why don't you take your plate to the kitchen? That's done. That's one task off my plate. These days also, she knows how to dress herself. I help her with things like maybe buttoning up, zipping up. But even when you're preparing for school, she dresses herself. I just come and button her school dress. That's it. So it reduces all the... If I had like 10 things to do, then now I have 7 or 8. So don't want to... I know you always want to be super mom. You want to do everything. You want to show that you are very strong women. But the thing is, you are human, and if you take on everything, you're going to feel overwhelmed. So get everyone to do what they can do. What can they do? Can they look for their own socks that they'll wear tomorrow? That's something else, one thing off your plate. Okay? So the next tip that I'm going to talk about is ask for help. Ask for help. Let me talk now for the case of moms with newborns. You know, when people come to visit and they're like, oh, can I hold the baby? Let them hold the baby. Okay? If you have good sense, if you go to visit a newborn mom, I've done a video on like the do's and don'ts of interacting with a newborn mom. If you have some sense, if this person is close to you, please help them with something. It's like going to visit a sick person and then you're just there sitting like, how are you? I just came to check up on you. Can you cook them porridge while you're checking up on them? The same thing with moms with newborns. If you have a newborn, ask for help whenever you need it. You know, when visitors come, you can actually, if they don't offer, just tell them, Nanny so and so, can you please help me like wash these plates? You think they're going to say no or feel bad? They actually feel very useful. They're like, at least I went and I helped her here and there. So and so, hold the baby for me so I can take a 10-minute nap. Ask for help whenever you need it. Okay? If you feel like, okay, so and so, can you like come in and help me? Like the baby won't stop crying. Can you just help? Okay? Don't just think like, don't they know that I need help? Of course they do know, but it's human nature to be selfish. We always put ourselves first. So they may not think about you, even if they should. So just ask. Another tip that you can use is to connect with other moms. When I first discovered I was pregnant, I went to Facebook. I was very happy. I joined groups like, I think there's a group called Pregnant and Nursing Moms. I don't know, things to do with nursing moms. Because that was where I was pregnant, and then I was nursing a young born. Now I'm in a group for all moms, whether those with newborns or those with children in the university, like it is just one group. When you connect with other moms, you realize that you're not the only one going through whatever it is you're going through. Because if you don't, when you're just alone, you may be like, oh, everyone is having such a nice time, everyone is just like, oh mother, that's the best thing ever. And then you join any of those groups and they're like, I'm even better off. Someone is having a worse problem than me. Go online, especially Facebook. Connect with other moms. From these Facebook groups, you even see that people have migrated to WhatsApp. People have become close. Even you normally even see photos of moms with kids of the same age. They connect, they form a WhatsApp group. Now they are close, people who didn't even know each other. They encourage each other, because when you're going through something, someone else maybe has already gone through that thing and they overcame it. So when you post like a fellow mom's like, what do I do? My child only sleeps for like 2 hours. And then someone may offer you a solution. It may not even be a solution, but it may just be even a word of comfort, or just someone else telling you that that's normal, maybe it will stop at some point, just that connection. Okay, if your moms connect with other moms, either way, connect with other moms, even physical, like where you are living. Okay, if you know of other moms, talk to them. Don't just keep yourself like it's just you and your motherhood obligations. It is very, very overwhelming. It is also the place to offload any mom problems you may have. Sometimes you're like, I feel this child milk, I fed them, I'm feeling diaper, they're not sleeping, what is going on, they keep crying. This is the place to come and vent, and then you feel better, like, oh, thank God. Because for us women are created differently from men. We like to talk. It helps us feel better. Okay, so you will be able to talk it out with someone. This next tip is particularly for mothers with newborn babies. I know you've had this, but I want to emphasize: get enough sleep. Make sleep a priority. Okay, if your baby is sleeping and you have the option of cleaning the house when they're sleeping, so that the house is so clean and you feel like you finished your chores, and sleeping, choose sleep. Watching a movie and sleeping, choose sleep. Visiting people and sleeping, choose sleep. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? Because when you're asleep, that's the only time that your body repairs itself. Okay, that's the only time that your body heals itself. And when you're a mom, especially with a newborn, your body goes through a lot and it needs to heal. So when you're not sleeping, which means your body is not healing, you see what is going on? You're going to feel physically overwhelmed, okay, because your body has not rested. It's tempting to want to work when they're asleep, but no, when they're asleep, you sleep. When they're awake, you are awake, and you do whatever it is that you can. The next thing you can do to avoid being overwhelmed is to have a routine. As I said, that gives everyone things to do. People need to know when you wake up in the morning, what happens next. Okay, so it's not like, oh mom, this, what about this? You keep wondering, do we do this, do we do that? It should be automatic. People know you wake up, this one knows they are cleaning, they are mopping, this person knows they are washing dishes, this person knows they are preparing breakfast. Even if that person is you know what you are doing. Because when you keep a schedule, it even helps the children to also be in line and give you an easy time. For example, let's say that, as I've said, sometimes, mostly when schools are open, my baby sleeps at night. Then it doesn't give me like a lot of headache. They are able to sleep during that time because they are used to the routine. And then through them sleeping, I'm able to get my personal time, which will also help me to relax. You see? So have a routine. Don't just leave people running around doing things as they want. As the mom, you are in charge of that family, running the household. So have a routine. Know when people are doing what, who is doing what, when are you doing it. It will make your life easy. The next thing that I'm going to talk about, and this may trigger some people, is to discipline your child. Trust you me, if you have a mom with disciplined kids and a mom with indisciplined kids, the mom with the indisciplined kids will feel like going to Madari and booking herself in. Indisciplined kids are 10 times the trouble. 10 times. The fact that your children are disciplined doesn't mean that they won't make mistakes. It doesn't mean that they are just perfect. They're kids. They're learning. They're human beings. They're imperfect. They're kids. They don't know stuff. That's why you are teaching and molding them. But at least they will be able to give you an easy time. For example, as I said, that you get people to help you whenever you can, even through your own. If you have you can build your own support system. Let me say that I want to have some time to rest, and I'll be like, okay, then can I bring my daughter for even an hour or half a day or a day, so that they can play with their kid, or so that you can look after them, so I can relax or run somewhere. And then you know very well that my kid will just give you a headache. You'll say no. You'll say no. So I'll be with them. I'll be the only one who can handle them. And even in the house, I'll feel like running mad because I tell them, okay, now it's time to sleep. They're fighting me, they're abusing me, they're throwing things at me. I'm like, okay, can we do this? They're hitting me. Emotionally, you will feel drained. Physically, you will feel like snapping. Discipline your kids, people. Your kids. No one will come into your house and discipline your children for you. So if you don't discipline your children, you are adding more stress onto yourself and to the society. Another thing that I think can really help you is to identify stressful times. Identify stressful times so that you can know how to deal with them, how to improve them. Let me say, what is the one thing that like gets on your nerves, make you feel like you want to scream? Is it maybe preparing a child to school? That's a stressful time for you. Now that you've identified that time, how can you make that process smoother, less stressful? What goes on during that time? What makes it such a stressful time? Does your child maybe not want to wake up? If that's the case, could it be because they are sleeping late, so they don't have enough sleep? Could it be that you're waking them up too early compared to when they should actually wake up? Find ways to, so when you switch things and you're like, okay, since maybe they don't want to wake up because they're not getting enough sleep, maybe you start making them sleep earlier, then they get enough sleep, then they give you less stress in the morning when they wake up, then you have a less stressful time overall. Okay, figure out what is that stressful time. Is it when you're going out with your kids? Why is it? Is it that they're throwing tantrums? Why are they throwing tantrums? Is this because they know they can misbehave in public and there's nothing you can do? Figure out what is that stressful time in your life as a mom. What stresses you that time, and then figure out how to improve or how to reduce the stress of that particular situation, and then you reduce your overall stress. The last tip that I want to talk about is to reduce expectations on yourself. Reduce expectations on yourself. I know we expect so much from ourselves. Sometimes even if you tell someone, I have to do this, I have to do this, and someone is like, do you really have to do all that? But who said you have to do all that? We put so much pressure on ourselves. We want to do this. We want to make sure that the house is always clean, spotless every single time. We have to make sure that people eat fresh home-cooked meals. I mean, we can't cook at night and warm the same food in the morning. We have to make sure that I can bake a cake, bread every week. Like, who said you need to do all this? Lower the expectations you have of yourself. Lower the obligations and the duties and the responsibilities you put on yourself. You're already doing a good job. Okay, you're raising these kids, you're raising them well, you're keeping them safe, they are healthy. Do they have a roof over their head? Are they sleeping? Do they have somewhere to sleep? Have they eaten? Are they safe? Like, no one is coming to, they're not in danger. Those are the basics. These are the basics. Yes, they will go to school and everything, but these are the basics. You don't need to try to be a super mom, okay? Because sometimes it will happen. There are times in your life where we won't be maybe let me say you have a newborn right now. Then it means the amount of time that you have on your responsibilities is not the same as me who has a 5-year-old child. Me, I can just tell my daughter, go play outside. But that's one of the ways I get my time, because she enjoys playing outside, okay? Be like, go play outside. Allow kids to play outside. Don't just give yourself all these responsibilities. You have to look after all the kids. They are just here. Everyone is just in your space. I can tell that child to go and play outside, and I get some 30 minutes to myself. You, with a newborn, you may not be able to do that. So don't put so much expectations on yourself. Lower the expectations. Work with your situation. What can you do? That's what you do. You can only do what you can do. Don't do more than that you are humanly capable of. Okay, how can you help a fellow mother to not feel overwhelmed? Like, don't keep it to yourself. Just mention it in the comment section. Just write even one thing, one piece of advice, whether it's something I've mentioned that you can stress on it, or maybe something that I've not mentioned. We all learn from each other, okay? And as moms, these are things we deal with. We get overwhelmed, okay? From time to time, we do get overwhelmed. So it's important to know that you're not alone, and at least you're doing a good job already. So that's something. You are doing a good job. The fact that you are overwhelmed means you care, and you're trying to take care of a whole human being. Because if you didn't care, you'd just be like, to hell, and off I go. Okay, so you're already doing a good job. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and until next time, be good to yourself and be kind to others. Bye.